Love begins where reason ends. It is both the cure and the infection, the hand that heals and the blade that slips between the ribs of the soul. We call it beautiful because we must, because if we named it for what it truly is, hunger disguised as devotion, fear dressed in tenderness, we would no longer chase it. And yet we do. We chase it like light in a dying sky, because love, more than anything, is the lie we choose to live inside. Chapter 1: The Illusion of Love. They say love is pure, but purity is not of this world. Everything that touches flesh becomes contaminated by need. Love is no exception. It begins as wonder, the electric ache when two souls collide, the trembling recognition of being seen, the warmth that turns ordinary skin into sacred ground. In the beginning it feels like truth, like something ancient, something holy, but beneath that holiness, something darker breathes. We do not fall in love with people. We fall in love with what they reflect back to us, a version of ourselves we long to believe is real. The lover becomes a mirror, and we mistake our reflection for connection. It is not them we crave, but the feeling of mattering, of being chosen, of escaping the loneliness that whispers beneath every heartbeat. Love promises to silence that whisper, but it never does. It only teaches us to listen differently, to hide the fear beneath gestures of devotion, to turn longing into performance. The truth is, love is not found. It is constructed. Brick by fragile brick, layered with hope, insecurity, memory, and desire. We build the illusion, and then we kneel before it. We say, "This is love." But what we mean is, "This is my need, given a name." Still we chase it. We write poems for it. We cross oceans for it. We ruin ourselves for it. Because without the illusion, life feels unbearably sharp. And in that soft lie, we find a kind of mercy. Chapter 2: The Truth Love Reveals. But illusions cannot hold forever. They fracture under the weight of reality. And when they do, love begins to show its true face. The truth about love is not that it blinds you, it reveals you. It strips away every disguise you've ever worn, every mask you built to protect yourself from being known. Love has a way of reaching into the quietest parts of you, the ones you buried beneath composure and control, and whispering, "I see this too." That's why it hurts. Because to be seen is to be exposed, to be loved is to be known, and to be known is to risk being left. Love reveals the architecture of your fear. It shows you how deeply you crave safety, and how willing you are to trade freedom for it. It shows you your hunger for validation, the wounds you've carried since childhood, the way you build cages out of comfort and call them homes. When someone loves you, they do not fill you. They illuminate the emptiness inside. And when they leave, the light goes with them, and the emptiness remains, clearer than ever before. That is love's cruel genius. It offers what it cannot sustain. It awakens what it cannot keep alive. Love exposes your illusion of control. You realize how powerless you truly are, how fragile your heart becomes in the hands of another. And in that helplessness, you learn the first true thing about love. It is not gentle, it is not safe. It is a force of revelation, not comfort. The heart breaks not because it is weak, but because it finally knows itself. And knowledge always comes at the price of innocence. Chapter 3: The Consequence of Losing It. When love ends, the silence it leaves behind is not empty. It is full of echoes, of unfinished sentences, of versions of yourself that existed only in their presence. You begin to understand that you never lost them. You lost the person you were when they looked at you. You lost the warmth of being seen through forgiving eyes. You lost the illusion that you were whole. Grief is the ghost of that illusion. It walks beside you, quietly, reminding you that love was never about possession but transformation. You do not return to who you were before love. You become something else, something slightly more broken and slightly more awake. In the wake of love, you see the ruins clearly, the messages never sent, the promises made in trembling sincerity, the moments when love felt eternal, and the cruel truth that eternity lasts only as long as it is believed. We speak of heartbreak as if it's an event, but it's not. It's a process of disintegration, a slow unraveling of every story you told yourself, a quiet acceptance that the world has no obligation to mirror your longing, and yet, within the wreckage, there is something sacred, because pain has a way of refining perception. When love dies, so does your naivety. You begin to see with clearer eyes no longer blinded by beauty or promise. You realize how small we all are, reaching out across the abyss of existence, trying to make meaning from our collisions. And for a moment, you forgive yourself for wanting it so badly. Because to love, despite knowing it will end, is the most human act of all. Still, the consequence of love lingers. Every future affection carries the shadow of the past one. Every "I love you" trembles with the memory of its own extinction. We become haunted by what we once believed was eternal. We carry it like a quiet superstition, an ache disguised as hope. And in that haunting, we find the residue of love's truth, that everything beautiful must also be temporary, that nothing you hold will stay. Chapter 4: The Reflection, Acceptance and Clarity. Time softens the edges of pain, but it does not erase them. It simply teaches you how to look at them differently. You begin to see love not as salvation, but as experience, a passage through which you learn what it means to exist alongside another soul, not to complete each other, but to collide, to change shape, to leave fingerprints on each other's eternity. Love becomes less of a promise and more of a phenomenon, something that rises like a tide and falls with the same inevitability. You stop asking why it ended and begin to wonder how it ever began. You start to understand that love was never meant to last. It was meant to awaken, to burn through illusion, to strip you of what you thought you needed, to leave you naked before the truth of yourself. Love does not complete you. It exposes you to the infinity of your incompleteness. It reminds you that you are both the lover and the void, the giver and the hunger. It shows you that connection and loss are not opposites. They are the same motion, viewed from different sides of time. There is a strange peace in that understanding. A quiet acceptance that love was never supposed to be safe. It was meant to be lived, felt, and released. And so, the heart learns, not to love less, but to love without the illusion of permanence. To hold, knowing the hand will one day be gone. To give, knowing it cannot be kept. To stand in the fire and thank it for its warmth, even as it consumes you. This is what remains when the noise fades. The simple, haunting realization that love was never about forever. It was about now. About the moments between beginnings and endings. About the brief, shining interval when two lives briefly shared the same light. And when that light fades, you do not curse the darkness. You look into it and see yourself staring back, quiet, changed, awake. Because love in its truest form was never outside you. It was the part of you that was willing to be undone. Love begins where reason ends, and ends where truth begins. And between those two infinities, we live. If this truth made you pause, stay. There are more dark truths waiting beneath the surface.